Hey everyone, thank you for joining me today as we take a look at the Xceed Toolkit for .NET MAUI. My name is Matt and I work as Technical Director at Xceed. So last we spoke, I did a quick video that showcased what the products and the controls look like. However, this time around we're going to go a little bit deeper and I'm going to showcase how to install it in Visual Studio and how to get started with basic code lines. So stick around. All right, welcome back. So the first thing we want to do is get some information about the product itself. So we can search for Xceed GitHub MAUI Toolkit. It should be one of the first links on Google. So let's go. So this is a way you can get the product itself. You can fork it or check how the source code works. But there's also a whole bunch of information here to help you get started. And I will be using that this morning for this demonstration. We showcase a list of all the controls we have available right now. At the time of recording, these are the control we have available, but there's a whole bunch of new controls that are just waiting to be released really soon. So yeah, so you can go ahead and browse this to get a better understanding of what the controls do and how they work and how they compare to their to the Microsoft controls, because there a lot of them that we redid are actually available on the framework. It's just that we added a ton more flexibility to these controls ourselves. So this is where you can get it on GitHub, basically. Another place we can get these controls are obviously on NuGet, which is what we'll be using. So we can just search for NuGet Xceed Toolkit MAUI. Should be the first link up there. And you'll find the same information here, basically all the documentation you need to get started and understanding the different type of controls we have, as I previously mentioned. So right now we're going to go in Visual Studio and add the controls so we can see how to get started with them. So now there's a couple of things that we want to do in order to be able to use the product in this application. So there's two things. First, we're going to need to add a reference to the product in our XAML, and we're going to have to add it to the app builder of the application. So in order to do that, we can always just go back in our NuGet page or GitHub page. We have a section here called Getting Started. We click on it, and you'll have all the information you need to get started. But for the purpose of this video, let's just pick the code we need. So this is the reference in XAML to the project itself. So we go here, we paste it. So our reference will be XCTK. So in XAML, if you type XCTK, you should have access to all of our controls. The next thing we want to do is we want to add it to our application MAUI program class. So let's go and take the line of code we need. So this is what we need here, which references the MAUI toolkit in the application. We're going to open that up in our class, and we're going to paste it here. For the purposes of this video, let's see, okay, dark orange. And that's pretty much it. From this point on, you should be able to build your application using the Xceed controls. So I have a blank application, as I mentioned. It's the one that when you start a new project, you have the little robot with the button. So let's add our own Xceed controls in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to add let's use a car control, which is the control that allows you to add a little bit of depth in your application. So we're going to add a title called Xceed Test. This control basically takes any type of content you want to provide it. So in this case, let's add a grid and let's add an Xceed button. Content will be hello YouTube, right? Let's give it a bit of height requests. Let's give it 40, 80, width request 200. So from this point on, you can just build. Let's move the window here. Let me resize this. All right. So now you have our car control with a button inside it. So already you all noticed some difference between our button and the Microsoft buttons from the framework. They do not have any mouse over effects. It's very limited in terms of what you can add inside it. There's going to be a text and an image property, and that's it. We expose content property, which allows you to lay out whatever you want inside a button. So, and you have this these mouse interactions as well. So if your MAUI app also runs on Windows, then you'll be able to have your users feel like they're using a normal desktop application. So that's basically where we want to go with this. So let me stop this right here. There's a whole bunch of controls that we also offer. You may have seen them in the previous video, but I encourage you to explore a little bit what we offer. There's a series of controls that our customers have always found interesting and precious in our WPF toolkit. Is we offer pre-typed up and down controls. So let me give you an example. So you don't have to worry about the type and managing the type. So that's about it. This is the way to get started using the Xceed Toolkit for .NET MAUI. I encourage you to explore all the different controls we have available. At the time of recording, we have these controls available as I mentioned earlier on, border button and so on and so forth. But we're also working on releasing very soon chart controls, toggle switches, a whole bunch of controls that will make your life easier building MAUI applications. You can always check us out at xceed.com for other controls we offer. We have a whole bunch of WPF controls, so if you're still working in WPF, Xceed is very dedicated to that platform as well. So that's basically it for this video. Maybe we'll do a deeper dive in using our controls in the future, but for now, I think you should be ready to go and explore the controls for yourself. Thank you so much for joining me today, and have a great one.